Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wade Watches. I'm Wade. Welcome to a relatively fresh out of the theater review, though, as you can see, I am not currently in front of the theater. I did originally film what was just straight up, right out of the theater review for the movie I'm going to be talking about today, but I totally mixed up one of the actors in the movie for somebody completely different, and I just couldn't live with that being the final version that I put up on YouTube. So you're getting this version of me reviewing this movie this time around. But in any case, I recently saw. So I guess I was exaggerating the whole fresh out of the theater review. But I recently did see a Minecraft movie. I watched it this past weekend, and honestly, I really didn't have any expectations going into this one. I've never played a game of Minecraft in my entire life. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about the lore, literally nothing about Minecraft. However, what got me to cave in and go and see this kind of on a whim, kind of at the last minute, was the fact that it featured the same duo both behind and in front of the camera who bought us Nacho Libre. That would be director Jared Hess, and of course the great Jack Black himself. And I was like, oh, that's neat. It's the same guy who directed Nacho Libre and of course Napoleon Dynamite. Let me go see what they do with this big budget property. And also there was just the fact that Jack Black starred in what turned out to be a complete surprise for me. Another film that featured, characters from the real world being bought into a virtual world, and those would be both Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle and Jumanji: The Next Level. Both of those films, especially Welcome to the Jungle, that being the first Jumanji reboot, I was like, this looks really wacky and silly. Like, it looks like something with no substance. But then when I saw the movie, I was like, you know what? This movie actually cares about these characters, and everybody gets a moment to shine. Everybody gets an arc. I like how they have all these celebrities playing against type because they're only playing the avatars in the game, and so they have to act like the people who are currently inhabiting the avatars. That made for a nice little twist. It's surpassed my expectations. So I was going into this Minecraft movie, similar premise. Once again, Jack Black's in a virtual world running around, with his antics. So maybe this will be something that completely takes me by surprise. I'll end up walking out of it with the same thoughts that I had, for those Jumanji reboots, where it's like, this didn't look like much, but having just seen the movie, it's more than meets the eye. It really has something deeper going on here. And is that the case? Is a Minecraft movie similar to Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle? No, not at all. It's the complete opposite case, where what you see in the trailers is pretty much the movie that you get. It's nothing but CGI and visuals and silly antics to impress the kids, and unfortunately, that's all that it really is. Has a pretty promising beginning because, speaking of Jack Black, the movie opens up with him. He's setting up the world. He's pretty much giving us his life story up to that point, and sorry for the light spoilers, but I have to mention that specific part of the film because that's when I was like, okay, this looks like it's going to at least be a lot of fun. Doesn't look like a cinematic masterpiece, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun because after all, Nacho Libre, I acknowledge that Nacho Libre is one of those nostalgic films for me. That film is definitely not a cinematic masterpiece, but it's very endearing, it's very charming. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking, at the very least, maybe this will be a charming film. Maybe Jack Black's, usual boyish energy and enthusiasm will, be the glue that makes this whole thing charming because the movie's opening up that way. But nah, honestly, the movie really loses its momentum after the opening, after all this setup, and when we actually get into the world of Minecraft. That's when the movie kind of tanked for me, frankly. Because even after the Jack Black narration in the beginning, when we're in the real world, I was like, okay, again, this looks like it's something. We also have Jason Momoa here, completely playing against type, but still bringing those dude bro antics and whatnot. And he's really, really good at almost playing like a parody of himself, playing this like overly macho, overly confident, like wannabe action star type. He's really good at making me believe that he is this insecure dude bro d-bag trying to let everybody know how cool he is. And I was like, okay, once again, it looks like we're off to a promising start. It looks like this movie could end up being something. But when we get into the Minecraft world, that's when it really dropped off for me. That's when, like I said, it was just all wackiness and antics for the sake of wackiness and antics to entertain the kiddies. That's when it became that soulless cash grab where it's like it doesn't matter what we do because we're making this based off of an existing IP that's incredibly popular and has a built-in fan base, and we know we're going to make our money back. And wouldn't you know it, lo and behold, at the time of my recording this, it broke the internet that a Minecraft movie has had the biggest opening of 2025. So once again, they knew they were going to always make their money back with this. And yeah, good for y'all. You guys succeeded financially. I'm sure a sequel is already in the works. Is already, the machine will already, process out another story to follow this up and all that good stuff. And that's fine. I'm not gonna begrudge the Minecraft fans for just wanting to see this because they want to see, this game that they love brought to the big screen. And I'm certainly not going to begrudge kids for just wanting that, just to see that colorful, friendly looking film that'll keep them entertained. I understand not every children's movie is going to have a deep message like, the best of Pixar and everything. Some stuff is just made for the kiddies for the sake of the kiddies, so I'm not going to begrudge either of those audiences for perhaps, maybe being able to enjoy this more than I did. But as for, yours truly, it really didn't do anything for me after that opening setup. It just became, flashy for the kids stuff, and there was not much of substance there apart from, the CG, which honestly didn't even appeal to me. It's kind of a weird looking world in my opinion. I get that they're trying to emulate the game, and I assume that this is what the Minecraft world in the game looks like, but it was a kind of a weird, almost kind of like off-putting looking world for me. So there's that problem as well. So all said and done, I'm gonna go ahead and give a Minecraft movie a 4 out of 10. The only saving graces in this film for me were Jason Momoa, Jack Black, and Jennifer Coolidge. Every time they were on screen, I laughed. I was enjoying their performances. I was enjoying them pretty much carrying this whole thing. They were solid. Everybody else is fine. I recognize Danielle Brooks. I don't know the name of the kid and his sister in this film, but I recognize her. And they're just pretty much doing the best with what they're given, because all three of them pretty much get sidelined and like pushed, kind of pushed to the back for the sake of letting Jason Momoa and Jack Black pretty much dominate this whole thing, to the point where I'm like, why couldn't it have just been those two going on this adventure in this world? That would have made more sense. The film acts like it wants it to just be about these two guys and their individual stories, and the kid, his sister, and Danielle Brooks's character literally just feel like afterthoughts, like they're kind of tacked along so that it's an ensemble instead of this just a duo. And fine, whatever, I guess. It's kind of a bizarre choice to me, because this really is the Jack Black and Jason Momoa show, and plus the Jennifer Coolidge show, because all three of them have the most interesting parts in the movie. So it just feels weird that the movie really feels like it has to have, let's add three other people, because they really do next to nothing. I guess the kid, he's supposed to be, the main character in this movie. He's supposed to be the heart of this movie. The movie has a bunch of stuff happen to him so that it's set up that he's gonna have an arc, but I really felt nothing for this kid. He really just felt like a third wheel in this thing. But whatever, I guess y'all really tried, and they do try to make sure that you guys know that the kid, it's his arc. But no, this is Jack Black and Jason Momoa's movie. This is easily their movie, because they're the most interesting parts of it. So once again, 4 out of 10 for a Minecraft movie. It has 3 passable performances, but that's not nearly enough to save this mediocre, borderline train wreck from just being forgettable, forgettable, colorful kitty crap. That's my take on a Minecraft movie. In all fairness to me, I wasn't expecting much from it, but it would have been nice to have been pleasantly surprised, but I wasn't. And just as I predicted, it's not one of the better movies I've seen in 2025 so far. So 4 out of 10 for a Minecraft movie. This has been another edition of Weight Watchers, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.